All right, so I wanted to do another quick video on some of the additional scenery I just got from Race Tracks Scenics. I'm not sponsored by them. They didn't send this to me for free. I used my own money to purchase it, but I figure might be helpful if I show you the before and after, just to see if some of these items you're interested in and maybe for your own layout. So the first item is RTS 2T7. It's the Daytona Spotter Tower. Okay. Next item I got was the S32T 8A45i. It's the Infield sandwich billboards. And I think you are allowed to choose what sponsors you'd like to use. And there are, I think, 6 of them in this pack. Next to the RTS 6G1 pit lane clock gantry with the Rolex sponsorship. I got another RTS 6G1 pit lane clock, the F1. And then the final 2 are both modern TV nests. Both of them are RTS 2T5. First one's the IMSA WeatherTech. And the last one is the F1 TV. All right, so before I started assembly on the WeatherTech TV tower, I did paint the individual pieces with just some basic acrylic paints. I used black, medium gray, and grass green because this tower is going to be sitting on the grass. 4 coats of each. The other thing that I did was for the paper, I put clear contact covering on it, contact paper, matte. It's a transparent matte. I feel like it just gives a little bit of protection, and I'm not having to glue anything, so worrying about the paper crumpling or anything. So next step would be assembly. Okay, so here's the completed WeatherTech TV stand. Overall, I thought it turned out very nice. I'm very happy with this one. Relatively easy to build. Just took a few steps while the glue dried. Painted the base green to kind of match the grass because my intention is to have it kind of in the corner. This one and the F1 TV in the 2 corners. All right, so this is the WeatherTech TV stand. All right, so here is the F1 gantry and the Rolex gantry. What's cool about the F1 gantry is they have these standoff pieces to put your decals on, both sides, 2 sides. And you can kind of see where they will be applied. While there was no instruction for these, they were very easy to build. Just some wood glue, some clamps, and then this is the Rolex one. And the next thing is I'm just going to kind of paint the corners before I apply the decals. Okay, so here are my 2 gantries, the Rolex and the F1, all prepped, painted, and ready to apply the decals, the signage. I did, on the F1, paint all of the wood pieces with a red outline. And the reason the bases are blue is obviously my pit lane is this blue color. So, because I don't have a lot of room, you'll see once I install these how it blends in with the pit lane. Okay. Okay, so here's the completed Rolex gantry and F1 gantry. I really like them. I will say, you can see how I painted the standoffs for the F1 gantry red, and it is 2-sided, which is really nice. And then the Rolex, painted the green because the decals don't quite cover the seams, but overall, I really like them. At least with my experience, I do recommend using the contact paper over top of the decals. I think it's just, and then with double-sided tape to adhere them. Just think it gave it a much better finish than if I would have tried to glue it. But again, that's just my personal experience. So there's the 2 gantries completed, ready to put in pit lane. All right, and just for completeness, these are the 6 infield sandwich boards. They couldn't have been any easier to assemble. And now next step is just to put the sponsorships on them. Same process, using the contact paper and then 2-sided tape. So here are the 6 Infield sandwich boards completed. I did decide the 6th sponsor I had was Shell, and I actually replaced it with a custom Heineken 00, which I printed out on cardstock. Again, everything's covered with the matte contact paper. But again, these are double-sided. Again, very nice. Here is the F1 TV stand. Again, very similar to the WeatherTech stand. As a matter of fact, let me go grab the WeatherTech and we'll put them side by side. And here are the 2 TV stands, WeatherTech and F1 TV. And last but not least, we have the Daytona Spotter Tower. This is by far the tallest of the signs from Race Tracks Scenics. Again, very nice. But overall, I think I'm very happy with Race Tracks Scenics products. I think it just adds another dimension with scenery to my racetrack. All right, so I'm gonna give a final tour of all the Race Tracks Scenics scenery items. So here's the Sunoco, I guess, spotters tower. And then there's one of the billboards. See if I can zoom. Going down pit lane. The F1 gantry, the Rolex gantry, Sunoco sign. Moving around, here's the TV towers. Got the WeatherTech. And on the other end, we have the F1 TV. And then the Infield billboards. So there's my layout with all the Race Tracks Scenics. It's coming together. And then once it gets warmer in the spring, that's when I start to paint the borders of the track and put up the race walls. And what I'll do is I'll just leave this video with a few still shots of the racetrack scenics, some up close. Okay, thanks a lot.